a cooking instructor, a recipe tester, and recipe developer. I run and post blog posts on Percolate Kitchen that help working families figure out how they can gain a lot more mental clarity in their kitchen space on weeknights. So it's a very specific time, that crazy time. You have your 9 to 5 during the day. Well, I try to focus on that 5 p.m. to 9 p.m., the 5 to 9 instead of the 9 to 5, where everything is always almost more chaotic than any other time of the day, especially as a working parent, where you're getting out of work, getting your kids from whatever childcare they're in, getting home, getting dinner on the table, going through the bedtime routine. It's nuts most nights. And if you throw in sports practices, maybe family trips, any others, doctor's visits, anything else like that you have to cram into a normal weeknight, on top of the fact that you're probably tired and not always in your best shape and wanting just to get to that moment of quiet on your couch where you can just be you for a little bit. I help get busy parents from that 5 o'clock dismissal time to that Netflix and chill time with a lot of ease, finding joy, enjoying their time with their kids, not feeling stressed out and overwhelmed in the kitchen. So the tips and tricks and ideas and everything that I share is aimed only at those working parents who are trying to get through that time. So with that, I would like to share with you my favorite 3 meal planning tips for newbies. These are for people who are pretty new to the idea of meal planning. Maybe you've done in the past, but not really, only half-heartedly, and it didn't really work out for you. And now you're ready to give it a real go. So these are the tips that I would tell to somebody who's either brand new to meal planning or getting back into it and isn't quite sure where to start. So if you're new to meal planning, or if you've done it and it's never worked for you, that may have been because you were just kind of winging it. Meal planning takes practice sometimes. It's not always easy and super quick, like right out of the gate. I wanted to show you me. This is me and my family. I used to be someone who just kind of winged my, if that's a word, can I say winged my meal plans? I was winging it all the time. I was just kind of go to the grocery store, trying to figure out what we were going to make that day or the next day, and always kind of flying by the seat of my pants. And I hated it. It made me feel stressed, overwhelmed. As a working parent, I felt like I never knew where to turn. Like we were spending a ton of money on extra groceries that we didn't need. We were also spending a lot of money on takeout and delivery and picking up easy convenience foods on the way home, because we didn't have anything planned. So figuring out how to get my meal planning and everything sorted out, especially as somebody with a culinary background, like I have a background in recipe testing and professional kitchens, but I was used to some like fancy stuff. And with recipe testing, you don't necessarily meal plan for your life. You meal plan for what needs to be tested and worked on. You're not meal planning for a standard 5-day or 7-day a week situation where you're trying to get dinner on the table every evening. You're meal planning for like, how am I going to make 4 different coffee cakes for this cookbook that I'm working on? So that was the background that I was coming from. So I knew that I had the tools that could get food quickly on the table. I just didn't have the organization. And once I figured out that organization, let me tell you, seriously, everything changed. It just, I mentioned earlier that mental clarity. I gained a lot of mental clarity in the evenings. I felt joy and relaxation at being around my family and not stress. So this is us now. And I wanted to help get you to that position as well. So here's the step 1. If you're brand new to meal planning, or if you're getting your feet back wet again, make sure you're keeping your recipes close at hand. Keep your recipes in one place, not scattered all over the place. And the best way to do this is to use some sort of tagging system, whether you do that in a cloud-based app or whether you do that in a binder. Tagging is the best. And I do really recommend using some sort of a cloud-based app or programs like Eat Your Books, which is a online service where you tell them, you pay them a monthly fee. You tell them what cookbooks you have actually in your home, what magazine subscriptions you get and everything. And they create this digital index that you can then search for specific things. So you don't have to page through all the pages of your cookbooks. You could just type in broccoli or sesame or chicken or keywords like that, and it will pull up all of the recipes that you already have in your own kitchen arsenal. And then you can scan through there. I also recommend using something like my 5-minute meal plan system with Evernote. There's a free course that you can take if you go to 5minutemealplan.com. That's the number 5minutemealplan.com. And that can help you get signed up for this quickie little course that I have where I lay out how I do my 5-minute meal plan set up in Evernote. So step number 2 for newbie meal planners is have someone or something do the heavy lifting. Let someone else do the work for you. This is my favorite way, to be honest, even as somebody who has meal planning as a profession, even as someone who has a background in culinary arts, even as someone who runs a website for working families in the kitchen. I still really recommend that a great backup plan to keep is a paid meal plan platform. Honest. And if you pay attention, it can really pay off big time in the long run. I recommend finding a meal planning service, a paid meal planning service that suits your needs. Paid meal planning services are usually only about $5 to $13 a month. And you just, boop, 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 put your info in and it spits you out a meal plan that you can use. So easy. My personal favorites are the dinner daily and once a month meals. I will have some links here at the end of the video so that you can check them out on your own time. But both of these programs are indispensable to me. They're not the only ones. There's lots of others, emails, Plate Joy. They're indispensable to me. And I really recommend letting another program do the heavy lifting. But, and here's the important part, watch how they work. See how these meal planning services find you recipes. Try to check out how their algorithm puts stuff together, what kinds of recipes they give to you once you tell them your preferences, what kinds of store sales, in the case of the dinner daily, that they use. They use coupons and store sales in order to help create your meal plan for you, which is why it's a really great budget alternative for people. And the way that they match up different sides with your meals. Watch how it gets put together each week. It's really easy to start with a paid program because it gets you into that habit of cooking from a meal plan, of cooking from some sort of a structure every week. And then you get comfortable enough with making your own. And then if you stick to that system, eventually that system becomes your new normal. And then you can move off a paid meal planning platform if you need to, and start doing it on your own. So even if it's just not your own system, for a time being, you learn more than just what to do. You can start to learn how to by using a paid platform. Then we get to step number 3, start small. This kind of backs up from keeping all your recipes in one place and then trying to use a meal planning platform at first until you get your feet wet, but start small. Make consistent small steps towards meal planning. If you're new to meal planning and meal prep, the worst thing you can do is to overload yourself right out of the gate. It almost certainly sets you up for error and mistakes. And if you're new to this whole meal planning and prep thing, or if you've tried it before and you're frustrated and you want to give it a go, here's the main thing that I really recommend. Find 3 recipes you can feel confident that you can make quickly and easily. Then double those recipes so you make enough for the whole week as leftovers with some wiggle room for takeout or fast food on the way home or whatever. Remember, getting used to meal planning and meal prep is a process of fitting it into your current life. The best changes happen with small, consistent forward motion, not just dropping everything and starting fresh. That's just going to burn you out. So take 3 recipes, double them, and make them over the course of the week. Then next week, make those same recipes again. And this week it'll be a little easier because you have muscle memory. The week after that, I want you to drop 1 recipe and add another into the rotation. The week after that, drop a different recipe and add another one in. So you do the same thing the next week and you slowly rotate into meal planning new recipes. And then eventually, instead of planning for 3 meals, you start planning for 4. You rotate more in and then you start planning for 5. You make consistent small steps toward changing your day-to-day life. And before you know it, it's just part of your natural rhythm. The thing we're trying to do here is get used to the process. It's not about just stopping everything. It's not about muscle memory. It's about consistently making new choices. Do you want to know what will really help though? It's called the Uncomplicated Kitchen Formula. And I've got 3 proven steps inside. This is my weeknight course. And it will help you walk you through setting up your kitchen arsenal of recipes, getting primed and ready to conquer meal planning and meal prep in a way that's simple and fits into your day-to-day life. And then you take what you learned in the first 2 steps and you apply it to creating a cache of backup meals in your pantry or your freezer. Put simply, it's this 3-step formula that streamlines things, making you go from overwhelmed in the kitchen to having control in a way that gives you a ton of time and mental energy. I call it the Uncomplicated Kitchen for a reason because it really lifts any of the weight that's been dragging you down in the kitchen. And it's yours for 25% off if you buy it in the next 7 days starting today. Okay, so you're probably thinking, lady, I don't even know you. Who says you can teach me this stuff? And to that, I say, watch me. I've been teaching cooking classes, strategies, and techniques for adults and children for 8 years now. And if you've got an issue or an obstacle, I'm pretty sure I've encountered that before and I can help you get around it. You could also be thinking, okay, but what if my obstacle is time? I mean, who has time to take a course? Like, I'm not going back to school for a reason. I can't even text my friends back. But the Uncomplicated Kitchen Formula, it's different from other online courses where you log in, watch long video, take notes, blah, blah, blah. Those kinds of courses you fit into your day, if that's even possible to fit more things into your day. The Uncomplicated Kitchen Formula was created with a busy working parent in mind. You start one place and you finish the other, and it works methodically to get you through. The modules and lessons are offered in a number of different ways. They're offered in audio, written, and video, so you can move from step to step in a way that works best with your schedule, even when your schedule changes a lot. You could also be thinking, can I just find all this on the internet? And to that, yeah, you can. I mean, I'm not giving away state secrets, but what I am giving you is my time and experience so that you don't have to do it that way. I will share your time traps, things to consider, new ways you might not have even thought to Google search for. Put simply, I make a time-consuming process go a lot faster for you. So if you're interested in a complicated kitchen, I have emails on the way to your inbox, and I'm going to be sharing a few more details. But don't forget, it's only 25% off for the next 7 days. So make sure that you check out everything, you look into it, and then you click that buy button, because after that, the price goes up and it's not going to come back down. It's the best way to get you conquering your grocery budget, getting your picky kids to eat dinner. It's a comprehensive change up to what you've been doing. And I am really confident that you're going to find the path that suits your family best and gives you back the most precious thing in the evenings, time. So take what you learned today, check out Uncomplicated Kitchen, and I would love to see you inside the course.